Did you get into the home beta? I thought you had applied for it. I remember.
No, I did not. No, I haven't seen Home in a good long time. And as I understand it, it's undergone some pretty big changes throughout the beta process. So
But you actually still give a crap about home?
I want to see it. I'm interested in seeing it. I don't necessarily think it's going to be this great thing because I think that a big part of Sony's push for it is going to be marketing oriented and making these partnership deals with people to get content into Home that is not necessarily in the best interests of the player. But at the same time, there are going to be developers out there that are able to use Home to better enhance their game. Like Warhawk, I guess they're patching Home support into Warhawk pretty soon here, and you'll be able to basically like be in your living space with a bunch of dudes and launch a Warhawk server from there, and it'll take everybody right into the game and right back out of it, I guess, once you're done or something like that. So it seems like there's a potential for some interesting integration there, but we'll see.
Well, I agree with you that it definitely seems like there's a big kind of marketing and sales centric push from Sony for home, but that stuff is not inherently bad because you get that in Xbox Live, and it's the key is that balance is making sure that the stuff that benefits the user doesn't overwhelm or isn't overwhelmed by the stuff that is just blatantly for money, y'all.
Right. So, like, when you say want to have a Grey's Anatomy theme and picture pack on Xbox Live, attaching a price tag to it is like a double slap to the face.
So let's talk about that for a second because I saw that the other night and that's pretty mind blowing. They're charging. There's a Grey's Anatomy picture pack and theme on Xbox Live Marketplace that they're charging for, and the standard up to now has kind of been for any promotional stuff like that for TV shows or movies has always been free.
Well, I think that there's a weird kind of culture line that they have tried to distinguish where it's like if it's a picture pack that they think that the average Xbox user would be into, so like say the Adult Swim picture packs like the Tim and Eric pack and that stuff, they've charged for that because they think they can get away with it. But then
Right.
when it comes to movies like Shooter, like Axe body spray, like the T-Mobile Sidekick, like all this other stuff, all that stuff
Alpha
has been
Dog.
Alpha Dog, yeah. So your Justin Timberlake picture is free, and I think that the Grey's Anatomy thing is the first time when I've looked at it and thought that they made the wrong decision. Like that should be on the other side of the line and should be free because who the hell cares about Grey's Anatomy?
Well, it does have a pretty large following, but at the same time, I think you're right about that about there being that kind of culture line because I think there's the culture at large, but then there's the culture inside of Xbox Live, which is a little more insular. It's maybe a little more fringe. If you go and look at what the top 10 movies or top 10 TV shows on Marketplace are, that's not going to necessarily reflect top 10 shows on TV.
Right, exactly. So like to put something like Grey's Anatomy in front of people and say, here, pay for the ability to have this woman as your picture.
Ellen
I
Pompeo.
sure, whatever. I totally don't get it. Like that just seems so backwards. Like they should be paying me to advertise Grey's Anatomy to people.
But do you not think that it's weird that like the standard on the other side for all of the game picture packs and themes is that those are for pay, even though those are just as promotional and often as niche, if not more niche than.
I don't quite know how to articulate the difference, but I paid for the Tim and Eric picture pack and didn't necessarily feel awful about doing so.
I did the same, and I've bought a few other game focused picture packs in the past as
Yeah,
well.
like I bought a Street Fighter one and I bought a Mortal Kombat one and that sort of stuff. But yeah, the Tim and Eric one I think was the first non-game related one that I had purchased, and it just I don't know. Like so, I think because it makes sense. Like oh, of course they would charge for that because people might actually want that. Whereas like Grey's Anatomy or Alpha Dog or all that other stuff just seems like I guess the promotional aspect of it just seems more crass and more upfront with those sort of things kind of intruding into the Xbox Live space.
I guess it's funny because you can kind of read any of these pricing decisions as being Xbox making presumptions about who you are.
Right. And that's the thing is they've been pretty much right so far.
It's
Like
like you
oh
like this, will you pay for this? And you're like, yeah, that's right. I'd pay for that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you jerk. All right, but yeah, I guess I will pay for that. But yeah, like I'm not gonna pay for this Mission Impossible 3-pack as much as I do like this picture of Ving Rhames.
You would have paid for that picture of Ving Rhames.
I don't think I would have paid for the picture of Ving Rhames. I'm gonna stick to that. I really don't think I would have paid for the picture of Ving Rhames.
I might have, because I bought the Command and Conquer 3 picture pack for the picture of Billy D. Williams and actually picture of Billy D. Williams and a picture of Michael Ironside. So that was kind of a twofer.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. I don't know. I just wish that they would get rid of all this like for pay like icon stuff and just let everyone set their own picture and use that as a default picture and just be a little more on the ball when it comes to punishing people that use that to then, you know, put porn in or whatever, because that's why, you know, you can see someone's custom picture, but only if you're on their friends list, and it requires a camera. You can't just import a file from your PC or something like that.
Well, I mean, here's kind of the thing about the argument against what we're saying about these pictures is the nominal cost for Microsoft to get the assets for these Grey's Anatomy things and to put them up and then to say, all right, it's $2 for this or it's $1.50 for this is nominal in the face of however much money they would make off of that, because that's basically found money.
Right. Yeah,
it's basically free. It's like we had these pictures and we put them into the system and now pay us for them. And they get, you know, I'm sure Microsoft gets 10 cents or whatever out of every one of those sales, or some percentage. I don't know how huge it is, but
yeah, something that covers the bandwidth cost for however much cost to send you those pictures. But I look at it the same way I look at like AOL Instant Messenger icons. Like, what if they started charging for those and you couldn't, you know?
They tried to for a little bit.
Really? Like, that's crazy.
And I agree. It's completely batshit loco. It's just unacceptable. It's untoward.
Exactly. And if they want Xbox Live to be this kind of ubiquitous service that you know has that sort of appeal, they need to put users in control of more aspects of it. And I think,
but they won't, because they still want that control, because they still need that to some degree. But
well, at the very least, they need to start letting me import JPEGs as my like friends list picture, so that I'm not holding up my laptop to my Xbox Live Vision camera so that I can take a sweet ass picture of whatever is on my screen.
But then it would rob you of that fun, you know, home arts and crafts experience.
Yeah, I guess you're right.